in this podcast very quickly, just to give a shout out to two of my sponsors. First one, Double R Hat Company. Gabe Rodriguez, man, he's a good friend of mine. A great hat company, veteran-owned company. They have shirts, they have hats, they have hoodies, mugs, all you can think of. So go check out Double R Hat Co. on Instagram. And now to my second sponsor, I'd like to give a major shout out to my boy Irizarry. His handle is JT underscore Izzy. That's JT underscore IZZY. He is with Evolve Fitness, which is basically one of the best personal trainers I know personally. I've been to over 20 countries, and he gets the job done when it comes to your macros, tracking all of that, when it comes to your fitness plan, whether you're trying to bodybuild, whether you're trying to lifestyle, whatever case it may be. He's your go-to guy. So thank you guys again.
Introduction, Lexi Yanez is our guest today. I'm super excited to have her on, talk about a bunch of meal prepping, female fitness, and overall, a good conversation. So Lexi, would you like to tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Yes, good morning. My name is Lexi Yanez. I'm 25 or 24, about to be 25. Based in Odessa, Texas. I was born and raised here. Kind of just one day woke up during quarantine and just lost my job and kind of just started to do my own thing.
That's awesome. I feel like a lot of people did that, right? Because like quarantine kind of suppressed people from, making a living and really trying to just make it, right? And then it forces you to do things, I guess, that you've almost
your comfort zone.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it's like it almost forces you to do things you almost always wanted to do. No.
Yeah, I mean, I've always felt like I didn't want not that I don't go against a 9-to-5 job. I just knew I wanted to do my own thing, and I knew it was something in the fitness industry.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always wanted to do, really, it was personal training. And for some whatever reason, I always say God pushed me to this. And I mean, you could have told me I was going to do this and I wouldn't have believed you, because I was like, I mean, I've always enjoyed cooking and making food, but it's not what I was pursuing at the time, I guess you could say.
Sure. Okay. So tell me this, right? Obviously, we're talking about the business and meal prepping and food and whatnot, but how did you first get into fitness, right? Because before you get to the meal prep, don't you have to get to the exercise?
Yeah, you have to get that into your mind. Yeah, so it's a touchy topic to talk about, but I feel like a lot of more women need to hear it and know that they're not alone. I was in a very toxic relationship with my kid's father, and it kind of just changed me mentally and physically. I was abused, and I just woke up and I just really didn't recognize myself, and really didn't how can I explain it? Really didn't know what I was doing with my life. I was just very confusing time. And I don't know, just on social media scrolling one day and seeing these girls working out and stuff, and I was like I don't know, I just one day woke up and gave it a shot and started. And mentally, it really, the gym is just a quiet place for me. It's when I go in there, everything is silent, because my mind is running 24/7. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are like that, their mind's running 24/7. And it was just kind of my escape, and still is to this day. It's where I go to get my mind at ease and just get away from everything. So that's kind of where I started. It was after I had my daughter. It was, I want to say, about 4 years already. Okay. I've been, working out and kind of just learning along the way, just not, you don't wake up and you know everything one day, you learn as you go. And I feel like more women need to hear, there is a way out, and, you're not stuck. You can do it too. You can get out of that situation, whatever it is. And, just go in it. We don't know what's going to happen next. Of course we don't, but you just got to be strong-minded and go for it.
No, for sure. Thank you for sharing, by the way. Especially personal details like that. It's heartfelt, but again, I think this is kind of why I started to do this. I don't do it as much as I should, because honestly, it's hard to get people, with people's work schedules and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, I understand. Yeah.
But yeah, there's people's stories out there that they may not think is like valuable, but
or
somebody's
important. Yeah.
but somebody's going through the exact same thing or wanting to take the next step in their life.
Yeah, and they
And
just can't. Exactly.
yeah, and hearing someone else's perspective is like, it gives them hope, you know what I mean, that
Yeah,
they
it does.
they can do whatever they set their mind to. So 4 years ago, you get into working out. This is kind of a side note because I know everybody does this. Tell me, like, because initially when you hit the gym consistently for like those first 2 weeks, you automatically see results.
Oh no, right. As soon as I start seeing results, that's when you want to push more.
Yeah, and you get hooked, right? And then you get to a point to where it's like, okay, I've been doing this a year plus, and then you kind of hit that plateau and you're like, I've been consistent. Definitely. I've been eating good. I've been doing this and that. Like, what advice just that in that realm, but just overall do you have? And especially for like women in general, because I feel like, a lot of times, I see this a lot, and I'm not even in the gym like that as much as I used to. But I see like, oh, well, a woman would like listen to their boyfriend or a guy best friend or whatever, and I'm like, dude, like that's not even the same like anatomy. Like y'all's hormones are different. Like
no, exactly. No, I know what you mean.
It's not the same. So what advice do you have for women trying to get into the gym?
So for a long time, I've been doing this for 4+ years, and you do get to that point where you hit a plateau and you're just like, I don't see, like you do change. And then you get to a point where you're like, okay, I don't see much change anymore, or you get inconsistent, or just life happens in general, and you kind of just fall out. And I've had that happen to me a couple times. And you just have to, it's all a mindset thing. You have to dig deep, and you have to find what motivates you, and you have to really find what also works for you. Because I've learned that if you follow me, and you could be the same person, do the same thing, eat the same things, work out the same, and we could still look completely different. So you have to find what I feel like what works for you. And that might take a while, but you shouldn't get discouraged by it, or not fail or give up. Just keep going and find what works for you. And like I said, you have to dig deep when you lose that mindset, and how can I get out of this, this whatever it is. Because I've hit points where like I'm depressed, or I've gone through a seasonal depression, and I just don't leave my house, or I don't want to go out. And you have to just get out of the funk, and you have to find a reason to keep going. So
no, for sure.
And I felt like a lot of girls too are scared to look bigger or look manly. I've always heard. And to me, I mean, I used to be that person too. Like, I don't want to get too big, and then like I look like completely different. And at that just recently, like I've gone through this like lean bulk, and like I feel so like much. I feel like when you get to a point in the gym where you love yourself the way you feel, like it's true, when you feel good and you look good, all around you just feel better. And I just feel like when you feel good, you don't care what anybody else thinks. Like when you
no,
when you wake up and you look at yourself and you like the way you look, then it shouldn't matter what other people think. And a lot of other people don't like a lean bulk or whatever, but whatever it is that you want, whether it's look lean and just very toned, then do that for you too. Just do what makes you feel good.
Yeah. So everyone out there listening, whatever works for you, right? Do your research.
Yes, whatever works for you.
Yeah. You kind of stole my thunder a little bit with a lot of women looking or scared of looking too big.
Yes.
And I'm like, dude, I've been working out since I was like 11. And like I don't like per se like go for size anymore like I did like in the past. It's kind of more like a different route that I'm doing currently. But I never stopped lifting weights. Like that never like
see, that's kind of how I am too. I don't go necessarily for size. I just, in the gym, I kind of just up my weight, and you don't even realize that you're changing as you're going. Like, I just, I do kind of just, move my weight up each week that I go in the gym. And, by the time you're at 15 to 20s, and then you're all the way up to more, and you don't even realize it, until you're like in the mirror and you do comparisons. You're like, oh wow, like you're changing,
Yeah, but what I wanted to say was like to all the women that are scared of looking too big, I've been working out since I was like 11, and I swear I never got as big as in my head I wanted to. So that if you're too scared, if you're scared of getting too big, That is false. And I jokingly
No,
say
it
that,
is.
but
It is false, really, because
you know what I mean?
like I said, I was like that too. I was like, I don't want to look too big, and then I'm like bigger than I was. I mean, I've always been very petite and little, and
Yeah.
now I could never get past 110, and now I'm sitting at 130, 135, and it's like, oh wow, it's like a big difference, But
Yeah.
I don't, yeah, but it is very true. I feel like it's all in your mind. Don't listen to what people say.
No. I'm only kidding, but like I guess what I mean by that is the hunger never stops, right? It's like, oh, I can always look better.
Yeah,
I can always
no,
look
you're always
better.
striving for more, or you're always wanting more after you kind
Yeah.
of get to that goal, or that, I want to look like this, and then you
That
look like it, or
milestone.
yes,
Yeah,
and you're like, okay, now I want to go for more. So yeah, you're always wanting more, of course. But I
for
guess that's
sure.
what's the fun of it. There's no ending, there's no finish line. You're
Yeah,
always wanting to change.
you definitely never stop learning. So you start working out. When or no, I guess you could say it was instant, right? You instantly fell in love, and it was like kind of
Yes,
love at first sight. Okay,
yes.
so 4 years ago, you start working out, really start getting into this whole fitness thing. COVID hits. Tell me about how the business aspect and A&A Fit started.
So, well, of course, it was during COVID and everything. I was actually working at this place called Fresh Fit Meals, and a lot of people are like, "Did you get your meal IDs from there?" And no, I didn't. I worked in the front actually. I did sell, like I sold the food. So, but I kind of started working there because I mean, I was, changing my life around, wanting to get better. And after I had my daughter, it's not just about working out. I also wanted to better my health because, well, with her, I had, the pregnancy diabetes, and then with my son, I had high blood pressure. So I was like, I'm too young to have all these problems, like there's
Mm-hmm.
like I don't want to be old and have more problems. So I was like, I definitely need to change my eating habits too. So it wasn't just about working out, it was about, changing my eating habits as well. And so that's why I kind of worked there. And well, COVID happened and we lost our job. So I was kind of just at home for a while. And then out of nowhere, my sister had just asked me, hey, can you meal prep for me and my friend? Because I did my own. And
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, yeah. So I did it for them, and then I ended up posting it and just got a lot of comments like, what are your prices? And I was like, oh dang, maybe I could do this. So I kind of just kind of happened. That's what I was saying. I think God just was like pursuing me to go to this way, even though I wasn't really trying to go this way. But yeah, I feel like it was meant to be, really. Because ever since then I've been able to do this for 2 years from home. And I feel like it's such a blessing to be, spend more time with my kids and be home.
For sure. And you control the narrative. That's so awesome. So when we talk about food and whatnot, what are some things that I guess people could expect when they're looking to do business with you, or looking to say, hey, well, I don't know exactly what I want as far as a meal prep,
Yes.
but I know that I want something.
Yeah. So I always recommend people, you don't have to pick, like, because I have a menu set, but that's just for variety. I know a lot of people, because I stick with more basics. I'll change it up here and there, but I stick to the basic, protein, carb, veggie, chicken, beef, turkey, rice, potatoes. I just like the basic stuff, but I know everybody likes to change it up. So my menu's more for, just if you want a different taste, you don't want the same old boring stuff. But I also do custom meals for people. If you're on a routine, or, you have a trainer and they want you to eat a certain way, I can do that too as well. I do prefer people to go, if you really want to get into this journey, and, you really want to start and, track how you want, where you are now from where your goal is.
Mm-hmm.
I really recommend to go to either 5 Star Nutrition, Fit Cartel, somewhere where they have a body scan, just to kind of get an idea where you're at, because I feel like it's so much, like, when you see where you're at, and then as you go and track your progress, and you see like, oh, my body is changing from eating, from working out, it kind of motivates you a little bit to keep going. So I always
Yeah.
recommend people, if you really want to start and get into it, then, definitely track your progress, just to see, how you're doing, and how, or what you need to change even at that along the way. So
Yeah, for sure. Because what? I mean, food is like 90%, Like,
yeah, we always say 80-20, 80% food, 20%
I would say,
yes.
even more, but
And
that's just me, because it's
yeah,
very
no, it
difficult to
really
be
is.
disciplined. you know, it's
No,
difficult
no,
to be
the hard part,
disciplined.
everybody thinks the hard part's the gym. The hard part is food. I will even say for myself, because everybody's always like, oh, you must eat really good since you meal preppers, and I'm like, yeah.
I
But
try.
no,
Yeah.
definitely. It's just,
Yeah.
some days it's tiring, like I don't want to make the extra meals. And, during the week, I'm just like, I'm like in a rush. I'm always on the go. So I'm like, oh, you know what? I don't have meals. I'm going to eat out. So, but coming from me, it really does make a difference when you do eat, because I've just seen it for myself. There is weeks where I fall off and I'm like, I don't stick consistently with eating, and you can just tell the difference. And
Yeah.
this past 2 to 3 months, I really stuck with a strict eating. I don't like to say diet, like an eating habit.
Yeah.
With eating consistently good, and it does make a difference. It really does.
No, for sure. Yeah, same with me. Like I am doing like an Ironman. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but I'm doing an Ironman race in April of like next year.
Yeah.
And they're like, have you like started like like clean eating like all the way? I'm like, well,
Yes.
first of all, I always eat fairly, you know what I mean, for the most
Fair.
part. Yeah, like I eat more healthy than
Yeah.
I do like unhealthy.
Bad.
But
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I can't just like, you can't just go cold turkey like that. I was like, well,
yes, no,
I'm
that's
gonna,
what I was about to say.
I was like, you
You
gotta
can't say
taper that.
we eat mostly clean, because that's what I used to say. I eat mostly
Yeah.
clean, but it's,
Yeah.
no, you gotta go all the way.
Yeah, exactly. But like, you gotta taper, or at least me, you know what I mean? I was like, I have this date set for this race, and I'm like, within a month time span, it's gonna be like, the closer and closer I get, the more and more I'm like, hey, no BS, we're getting after it. Like,
Get to it. Yes.
So
Discipline.
that's awesome. So the next thing, because I don't always have a female guest, but it's always nice to have variety, and be able to talk about many different things. We got a lot of mothers out there. They're the biggest superheroes on the planet. Talk to me about motherhood, and is there any words of encouragement that maybe some mothers out there need to hear?
Yeah, definitely. Being a mother is one of the, I guess, greatest joys of being here. They have pushed me to do so much of my life. I feel like they're my motivation. Because I always say I don't think I would be doing this I wouldn't probably be doing this, but without them or for them. It does get hard, especially being a single mom. Even with, or if mothers out there that do have partners, it can still be hard. Being a stay-at-home mom. I've experienced that, and you just gotta find your peace first before you can do for them, I guess you would say. You have to take care of yourself before you can for your kids too. Because if you're not right-minded, if you're not, at peace with yourself, you're just not yourself in general. I mean, how can you be there for them and teach them and learn,
Yeah, for sure.
I would just say, you gotta, I mean, I can't give necessarily, I hate giving myself, like, what is it? I guess I always say God gave me my strength, really.
Yeah.
He definitely, when I feel like days I couldn't go on, or when I was lost, I just, pray about it. That's what I did. I prayed, and, I definitely didn't get my strength for myself. I feel like he's been there this whole time and has led me. And I feel like he gave me my babies for a reason. Because they've definitely helped me, push me. And, at the end of the day, like, when I feel like I'm not the best mom, or I feel like I'm not the best person in general, they're there to remind me. And it's just beautiful when, you hear little ones telling you, thank you, or I love you, or it's a beautiful thing. So I definitely love being a mother. It's fun. It's challenging. But
thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. And I always, I'm no superhero. I'm not a mother, obviously, but I always use the analogy of, like, on an airplane, when like the masks come down, it's like, what do they tell you? They're like, you, as an adult, you have to put your own mask on before you put your child's mask on. Why? Because you can't breathe. How are you gonna get them to breathe?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, thank you for sharing. This kind of like this next question, I guess, falls into like the next portion. It kind of falls hand in hand.
Uh-huh.
But like one of my biggest things that I'm an advocate for, I don't know if you've seen on like my socials, but mental health is like, it's like
yes.
super, super important to me, especially like serving in the military. Like you see a lot of people struggling and really going through it.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you? And obviously when you connect it to like being fit, like being mentally fit is probably more important than anything to be able to do any of the physical stuff. What does mental health mean to you?
I feel mental health is very important to me. I've struggled with mental health just from growing up, from being a little, I had an abusive parent, going into a relationship and being with an abusive partner. I feel like it really did something to me mentally, and, it really affected me. And to this day, I just hit seasonal depression moments. And, I'm still like, for this season, I'm scared, like I'm mentally trying to prepare myself and, dig deep to where I can find something that, don't go to this place again, because I definitely feel like you can feel it coming on, and, I'm just trying to stay positive and, do whatever I can to not go back into, that mental place, because it can take a toll on you. And I feel it's so important. That's why I say it's important to always take care of yourself and, find something that, whether that's, working out, whether that's going for a run, whether that's whatever it is, going down to a coffee shop and, just taking a relaxing moment for yourself, whatever it is, find it and do it. Because I've also had my brother who's dealt with some of those issues, and I try to help him as much as I can. And I tell him the same thing, find what works for you and what makes you better, what makes you feel good, and and don't do bad things that make you feel good. Do good things that, that not only make you feel good, but better yourself,
Yeah, for sure.
so you can grow. So I feel like it is a big issue. And I feel like a lot of people feel like they're alone and, are scared to talk about it. And you shouldn't be. Like, it's not nothing bad. It's not anything that you should be scared of or be, somebody's going to judge you with. I feel like you should open up, talk to somebody, and, whatever it is, talk about it and let it out.
No, for sure. That's super important. I think because when you talk about things, it doesn't suffocate you, doesn't make you feel so alone. I try to tell people because an Ironman, if you didn't know, it's like a triathlon. So it's a swim, bike, run. The swim is 2.4 miles.
Oh,
it's
wow.
like back to back. There's no like pause.
There's
2.4 miles
no
swim,
breaks.
112-mile bike ride, and then a marathon, a 26.2-mile run after, all in one day.
Good luck.
It's like a 15 hour ordeal, right?
Oh,
and
wow.
And I had done a marathon like in June, and I never like really like was a runner or any like I lifted weights, like I said, like the whole football from like early age, like lifting weights was my thing. But I started doing it in retrospective, just like, trying to push myself in a different light. And I found myself getting like comfortable, and I was like, I gotta be uncomfortable. Not all the time, but I guess to your point of what I'm trying to make a point of is when you do those internal suffers like on your own, and not like torture suffer, right? But going to the gym or staying disciplined and eating the right foods. Make yourself
uncomfortable,
those things.
I feel like, sorry. I feel like when you are uncomfortable, and then when you go and accomplish that thing that made you uncomfortable, and you're like, you accomplished it and you feel good once you've done it, because now you're like, okay, I'm comfortable with this, it wasn't, because I feel like a lot of people too, like, are uncomfortable to go inside of a gym, or like you said, or, whatever it is to better themselves. And, once you get through it and you notice, like I told you, doing this is something that was very uncomfortable for me, but I'm like, once you get through it and you did it, and you feel happy with yourself. You feel a little bit, a little bit more accomplished.
And to put the cherry on top, I was gonna say, when you are uncomfortable and you put yourself out there, basically, what that does is, because it's gonna happen, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. When life struggles come at you, it's not gonna make them, blissful and like rainbows and sunshine. but it's going to make you more prepared and more mentally, tough to go through what life hits you with,
Yeah.
So that's another reason why I tell people, it's like, if you proactively struggle with like, whether that be working out or going to school or do something, like struggle purposefully, when life struggles that you can't control, like come at you, whether it be loss of a loved one or, or maybe loss of a job or whatever, you're able to just like, not that those aren't deep and they're not going to hit you, but you're able to process those things better than you would if you were, maybe undisciplined or, not.
I feel like, that does make a big difference when you're like, if you're just sluggishing around and not really, not really trying to, I get what you're saying. Yeah. So it does make a difference when you have kind of like I guess you would say like a getaway, like a
purpose.
Yeah, like a purpose. So
for
I
sure.
get what you're saying with that. It does make a difference for sure.
Awesome. So we'll get into a couple fan questions. We'll do 2 fan questions that came in on IG last week.
Okay.
I think it was last week, right? Yeah. So the first one is, as a female, should I care about upper body?
Yes. Personally, me, I was a no female, did not care about upper body. I really, because it is, like I said, it plays into that fear. You're like, what if I get too big or, but I feel like ratios matter, like when you're working upper body, you might be intimidated when you go in the gym and when you go to the benches where there's mainly men right there, of course you're going to get, kind of scared or intimidated, but I feel like too, I'm not saying this for all gyms or a specific gym, but sometimes at the gym, like nobody's watching you, like I have a sister, she's like, I feel like everybody's looking at me like, I'm like, no, trust me. When you go into a gym, like everybody's there, I feel like is, struggling with something or they're trying to overcome something. So everybody that goes into the gym, they're there for them. They're there, they want to get their workout in, whatever it is. So I feel like you shouldn't be intimidated, to go in and look like somebody's watching you or, you feel like you're doing too little weight. No, we all start somewhere, So don't ever be scared, because I feel like that was what scared me too, starting upper body, is like I'm like struggling with these 10s and 15s or like even 5s, but we all start somewhere, and I feel like it does play a big part overall,
Sure.
just ratio wise, and I feel like to me, it does matter.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. I totally agree. Next fan question. I don't even know if I should say this one, but I think I'm gonna say it anyway. So tell me what you think. You ready?
Okay.
If you eye someone across the gym and y'all, this is a long question actually. So if you eye someone across the gym and y'all like, said hi in the past and, have communicated, but you really would like to, get to know that person more, what is the best way to approach a female or vice versa, a male in the gym?
Okay, this is probably like a big topic for me. One, if anybody ever sees me in the gym, I am so blind, like I cannot see. Like, so if sometimes I feel bad because I feel like, there's somebody there that I maybe know or maybe don't know, and I just kind of like just eye them and kind of look away. But definitely I would say for me, don't go in the middle of a set.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it's like a very cool, like it's my peace time. It's my time to get away from everything. So you definitely, I feel like, and that's just for me in general too. I wouldn't randomly go up to somebody and like, hey, I think I noticed you, like kind of just wait till like, they're done, or, kind of just after the workout, or, or, cause I'm like, I don't know how to necessarily like see somebody be like, oh, let me go look them up, cause I don't know who they are. So I would definitely say, once they're, or, I do the treadmill after like my workouts now. Like I walk now. So I would definitely say maybe, if you see them going for a cool off or whatever, maybe go after and approach them, or if you want to introduce yourself, or if they're moving to a new machine or wherever they're going, they're walking, maybe approach them, and don't ever do it in the middle of a set.
Yeah, no, I got
But
you.
but I guess you could say that's how you approach somebody. I've never approached anybody, so I'm like, I don't know, but this was what I would want somebody to do.
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
I think this works for females and males. If I had any advice for I guess the people out there, it's like you probably see the same people in the gym, like, especially if you go around the
Yes,
same time a
exactly,
lot.
you do.
My advice, what this is just like what I think works in my head, how my brain works, is a fist bump, right? Let's say
Oh yeah, fist bump.
you're really into a person, but you don't really know how to approach them. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's say they just got off the squat rack or something, and they like you said, they finish their set.
Yes.
Go up and just hold the fist, or you're passing by, just hold the fist up.
Yeah.
Boom. That's it.
Yes.
Right? That is it. And then, you know what I mean? Who knows the next day,
Who knows?
but there's
exactly.
like that continuity. So maybe
like,
like,
hey, yeah, I
you know
noticed
what I mean?
did you notice me? Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, so maybe the next day, if you want to approach that person like on the treadmill or something, there's like continuity of like, oh, this person is a complete stranger, even though they are, like, you know what I mean? There's still
and I've got told, like, I look upset after I'm leaving or something, and I'm like, no, I promise it's not. I'm not. It's just when I go, like, I feel like a lot of people, like as soon as I walk in the gym, like I'm like I have a goal to like do these things. Yes, I'm focused, and like I said, I like block everything out. So like I've been told, like, oh, you look like you're mad or upset. I'm like, no, I'm like focused. I'm doing what I need to do, So don't, like, I guess what I would say is, like, don't be afraid to approach somebody as well, like, you don't know what where they're at or where their mind's at, so you know what I mean. So
yeah, I was gonna say, when I'm working out, I'm pretty much the same way. Like I'm in like demon zone, I'm fighting demons. Yeah, I'm fighting demons out here. So yeah,
exactly.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. So now we're gonna go into the next question.
Okay.
If there's 4 people you could have dinner with, dead or alive, sit around at the dinner table, who would it be? 4 people, dead or alive.
Hard. I think I would definitely pick dead or alive. This is hard. I think I would definitely pick my sister, one of my siblings. Her name is Let. We call her Let. But we've been through a lot with each other, though. She really close, like, means so much to me. Just from when we were young, we've been through a lot together, and we kind of grew a lot together from, when maybe like the past couple of years. We went to a deep place where we didn't have nowhere to go to live for a whole week, and we kind of just found a place for ourselves, and eventually, and I feel like the past 2 years have been hard on us, and we've been through a lot. So I feel like that would be her. Another one would be my best friend April.
Hey,
I met her about 1.5 years ago already, and like I feel like I've known her my whole life. She just definitely somebody who motivated me a lot. It would definitely be her. One and another person would probably be my dad, because just to sit and talk around, because I not because he's in my life, but because he isn't. Definitely talk about why, or just learn some things about him and myself, and kind of, I guess, play catch up.
Yeah, for sure.
I think another one would be hard. I think it would be my great grandma, because she's no longer here. I lost her when I was in 3rd grade, but she was kind of like the glue of our family. I feel like that was a lot of people, the great grandmother is the glue of the family. And when we lost her, like, our family kind of just fell apart. We don't do a lot of family things, and that's kind of what she did, like what we did with her. And she was very very spiritual and very, you know, after God's heart. And I kind of would like love to sit down and talk to her, because like I feel like I feel like in my family I'm the person who kind of like introduces God, you know. And I don't feel like I have that person like can talk to me about it. If that makes sense, you know what I mean? So I feel like she would be that person to, you know, have a fun conversation, you know, about like her teach me, I guess you would say. So
that's
yeah.
dope. That's super cool and super beautiful. So there's a lot. I think this is episode 23. No, I forget. No, sorry, I'm out of whack. I forget which episode this is, but the past like 7 or 8 episodes, I think every single person has said a grandparent.
Yeah.
You know, obviously it's your great grandmother, but like every single person. So that's awesome. And I think it's beautiful because I think you know, especially guys, you know, it's like, oh, you know, I'd have like LeBron James or something, you know, like
no, I'm not
you
very
said
like
you said all family, you know, all basically essentially all family, because April is family. So that's crazy. I like that answer. It's unique and super cool. Okay, you ready for the next one?
Yes.
All right. Who would you like to see on the Nick of Time podcast next? Who would you like to see me do a podcast with?
It would have to be April again. No, I'm not being biased, but hear me out as promised. She's just very she's not gonna like in the fitness industry, she doesn't sugarcoat anything, you know. She's gonna be upfront, she's gonna be real, she's gonna be honest, you know. You know, she's not gonna have nothing, you know, like I'm very like, so I always say we're the same exact person, except I'm very more quiet, and like I don't open my mouth right away or say what I need to say. She's like the opposite. She's like gonna tell you, she's gonna be on you, she's gonna, you know, she's like I said, she's not gonna sugarcoat anything. So I love how she's just very open about this industry. I've learned a lot from her, and she's, like I said, she's motivated me to, you know, be more aware of what's in the industry as well, whether that's, you know, workouts, food, whatever it is. So I've learned a lot from her as well, and I just love her uniqueness of, you know, of working out. And you know, when we work out together, she pushes me a lot. So
no,
I
for
would
sure.
definitely like the stuff she has to say, or I think people should hear it. So
shout out to April once again. We'll try to make something happen. And I think it's important to have those kind of people in your life, you know. Like people that push you, and people that, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, make you like a better person.
A better
person,
I mean? Exactly. And that's exactly who, well, she is for me. She's that person that I feel like I can't let down, you know, because I'm like,
no, for sure.
I'm gonna hear it from her.
So tell me this before we start this outro. Tell me, how do you feel before starting this podcast, and how do you feel now? Do you feel more relieved, or more like, you know, like?
Yeah, I do, because like I said, I'm very, I don't like to talk about myself, and I'm very I feel like also people don't know a lot about me, like so like I kind of wanted to do this to like let, you know, like I said, women, to like a lot of women, single moms, whatever it is, to know they're not alone in some situations. So that's kind of why I'm like, when you asked me, I was like, okay, I think I can do this, you know, like I need to get out of my comfort zone to let other women know, you know. So I was like, I can't hide forever. So I feel like I said, I feel accomplished in myself and feel good and glad that I did do it. Because I probably would have been like, let me think about it, and I probably wouldn't.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But no, I'm like, Lexi, you need to, you know, open up more and kind of get to, you know, let people know your story. So
no, and thank you for sharing. I think a lot of people tend to like forget that you can be comfortable doing things that are like uncomfortable to other people.
No.
So what do I mean? Like, oh, well, I'm in the gym every day, and I grind, and I do this and I do that. And I'm like, okay, if you do that for, you know, 5+ years, then like, are you really like even though it's still hard, I'm not saying it's never not hard, but are you really pushing your mind to something that it hasn't done before?
It doesn't
You know
done
what
before.
I mean?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
yeah, I do know what you mean. That's what I'm saying. I've never done anything like this before. So I was like, I need to do something, you know, that's gonna step me out of my bubble, because I feel like I do put myself in a bubble where I don't step out of a lot of, you know, to do a lot of things. And I was like, okay, you need to do something. So yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Well, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I think we got it all. I think if trying to see if I'm missing anything, but I think that was a good episode. Tell everyone where they can find you, if they want meals, any kind of advice, whatever the case, your socials, give it to them. Where can they find you, Lex?
So I have Facebook and Instagram, for both personal and my business. So you can find me on either one. My original name is Lexandra Yanez. I go by Lexi though. And then my business, of course, is A&A Fit. I believe you can find it under A&A Fit 432. So
On
either one,
Instagram.
personal or business.
Oh yeah,
Instagram
awesome.
and Facebook, whichever one.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Lexi. I appreciate it. And yeah, since I'm off today, this will probably be up in a couple hours. So
okay, great.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Thank you so much. So thank
No.
you so much for asking, because I feel like I needed to do something like this and feel like it was the right time. So
no problem.
I enjoyed it.
If you ever have anything you want to promote, like upscaling the business or whatever the case may be, please, we can always come back and
of course.
And do it
thank
again.
you for, I want to say thank you for the questions that you asked as well, because I feel like they were really good questions. And like,
no, for sure. I tell you, I do this, yo. This is what I do.
They were really good questions, and yeah, I liked it.
No, for sure. I think again, like obviously I'm terrible at like ending podcasts, but I think that
no, okay.
I started this because I had friends that I was like served with when I was overseas, and they're like, man, you're such like this is like what you do, you know? They're like, you should start your own podcast, especially during COVID, right? Because one of my friends, his name is Yanez, and we were stationed in Turkey together, and now he's in Oklahoma, and I'm in like Wichita Falls, and he's like, he's like, dude, you gonna start your own podcast? I was like, yeah, bro. But I was like, dude, I gotta spend money on mics and do this and do that. And I'm like, dude, I don't even live anywhere like where I would want to like
where
interview
you,
people, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, give me another excuse, right? And I was like, oh, okay. What's up, blood? You know what I mean? So then I ended up
we always have excuses not to like start something that we know we could do.
Yeah, and I ended up like doing research, and I was like, well, you can like screen record on Zoom, and I was like, why not? You know?
Yeah.
I got my little edit, you know, on my laptop, and I kind of made an intro, and then you know, here I am. But yeah, I think everybody from working out to mental health to, you know, being a dad, being a mom, there's so many things in the world
that you could people, talk about.
Yeah. And that people struggle with day to day.
Daily, yes.
But we tend to think it's just us.
Yes,
you know?
Exactly.
So to be able to spread positivity and hope and just, you know, all the above, you know, into other people's lives, that's my goal. And we accomplished that today.
Yes.
So
good.
Thank you, Lexi. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of the week. Keep kicking ass and keep taking names.
Okay. You too,
awesome.
And everyone else watching.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Bye.